Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? So, surprise, Bethesda have actually got a blog post for us this week. Didn't think so yesterday, but here we go. And they've got some very big news for us coming up right ahead of the launch of Wastelanders on Tuesday, which is looming very large now, and I'm very, very excited for. So, I do hope you stick around as we look into some really interesting new details about the upcoming update. So, brand new Inside the Vault blog post, and it's amalgamating a little bit of information that's come over the last few days from the look of things, but there's some very, very cool details here and some very, very big stuff as well I think you'll be very interested in. There are also a couple of spoilers later on. I will give you a heads up before we get to them, and I'll try and avoid dropping them in the video, and I'll let you know how you can sort of investigate this yourself if you want to, but keep an eye out for that. So we'll have that one coming up in a little bit. So, let's have a look at this blog post, shall we? So, Red Rocket. Interesting point about this place. The frame rates around Red Rocket used to be absolutely awful until not so long ago, when I'm not sure what they did, but they did something. Definitely gone a lot better, so that's awesome to see. And it's not the only place I've got either, which is very, very cool. So, launch day is upon us. Well, almost upon us. This week we have a lot to share with you as we prepare to dig into the new Wastelanders update when it arrives on April 14th. Read on to catch our second official trailer, we saw that one last night, and the new soundtrack and some new gameplay videos. We've also got details on possible changes to camp locations and Purveyor mystery pick event that's taking place right now. So, Wastelanders official trailer. This is the launch trailer, trailer 2. It's the one that came out last night. If you haven't already seen it, well, you can find it in the link below to this blog post. Other than that, of course, we covered it yesterday, went and had a little bit of a deep dive, and there's some cool stuff some of you guys pulled out. It's available via the comments if you want to take a look at those. So, very, very cool stuff there. But I'm not going to go into that in too much detail. As I say, link somewhere up and around here. That should take you to that video. So, jumping on a little from there. Treat your ears to the sound of Wastelanders. So, it's something we covered a little bit on stream recently, and mentioned out in the comments as well that earlier in the week, Xion and Bethesda together released the soundtrack for Wastelanders, so you can check that out either on Xion's YouTube page, supposedly. Apparently there's been some hiccups with that. But beyond that, it's also available on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music. So if you want to get yourself in the mood, listen to a bit of the Wastelanders soundtrack before it all launches, then you can find it there. So, the cool stuff, the interesting new news. Recently, Bullion, sorry dude, can't pronounce your name, the lead designer, and Nate Perkypile, the lead artist, who have both featured quite heavily in the promotional stuff around Wastelanders and the 76 in general, because two of the main guys heading up the development of the game at the moment, teamed up with Wastelanders to share their thoughts as both players and developers as they explored some of the new content together. We've taken highlights from their adventures to bring you a relaxed fit gameplay video, bring you a few new relaxed fit gameplay previews with their commentary even. So, clips are down below if you want all the details on those, but if you don't particularly want to watch them, want to avoid the spoilers, we'll go over the important details, but you can avoid seeing all the details if you like. Also, if you do want to watch it, I mean, there's a somewhat catastrophic fight with a Wendigo Colossus there that's quite funny to watch. Raider Daily Quest and Reputation. So the first little clip basically covers that. They have a little wander around Crater. There's some cool footage there. You can get a little look in more detail. I'm not going to share that. If you guys want to see it yourself, as I say, the link will be down in the description to the blog post. But if you want to avoid any spoilers or want to see it fresh and new, kind of wish I'd done that myself. But, and you've got the opportunity. I'm not going to spoil that for you anyway. So if you do want to see it, like I say, down below if you want to go check it out. But they had a little wander around, they spoke to a couple of NPCs, had a little look at the location. It's very cool. General gist of it being that we already know the launch was somewhat on the rushed side back at the end of 2018. So there's a few locations that they didn't get to do as much with as they would have liked. Crater, as it will be, the Crash Space Station for now, is one of those locations. So, Nate Perkypile in particular, who's the lead artist, said there was an area he really, really liked, but really would have liked to have done more with it and didn't get the chance. So when the time came to set up shop for the Raiders, it was kind of a no-brainer to put them there, which is very cool. So we have a little look at a daily quest, of which there are only 2 at the moment. Hopefully they'll put a few more in, get a little bit more variety. And I think it's something they're going to need to do quite quickly following the launch. Because I think people will work through the content relatively quickly, so that will be interesting to see. But fingers crossed they'll be updating as soon as possible. I'd imagine the inevitable few bugs at launch will be the priority 1, and then new content shortly after that. But hopefully they'll keep building on the initial launch of Wastelanders, so fingers crossed on that front. But the really big thing, the really game-changing thing in a sense that we didn't know about, is gold bullion and new items. So this is part of the upcoming new end game loop for Wastelanders. So they're adding a new currency called gold bullion. Basically you'll be earning that through questing in Wastelanders and doing various things. From the sound of it, only Wastelanders based content is going to provide it, but we'll find out in more detail on Tuesday, I guess. But the general gist of it is you earn up your gold bullion and you go to certain vendors. There's definitely one that they showed off in this little clip. Possibly a few others as well. The location's a little vague. Didn't really pick that one out. Maybe you guys will spot it in more detail yourselves. But either way, you find those NPC vendors and you can trade in your gold bullion. It works in a sort of similar way to script in the sense that the vendor will only take that. In the sense that you can only trade with the script at the Purveyor. I think you'll be getting it in different ways, so questing and stuff like that, rather than just turning in legendaries, but still. New exclusive currency. You acquire that, head over to the vendors, and they give you upgrades, modifications and stuff like that or the plans to modify some of the new weapons, some of the more powerful stuff. The Strangleheart power armor will be removed with the disappearance of the bolt raids. That is one thing that will be available via this gold bullion system. So if, like me, you couldn't do it because it's a group-based event, or you didn't particularly enjoy it, or whatever other reason, you didn't get the Strangleheart power armor, this is where it will now be available, is via the gold bullion system. So that's very cool to see. Yeah, so in short, grab your gold bullion through questing and whatever else it ends up being. Take it over to the NPC, trade it in, you get things like plans for the power armor, plans for weapon mods, barrels and scopes, things like that, fancy stuff. The new, more powerful weaponry that they're introducing with the update, which is very, very cool. So that's basically a little look at part of the endgame loop. And as I touched on yesterday and a couple of times in the past, the feedback from the private test server has been quite significant on that side. Bethesda mentioned this at their PAX panel a few weeks back, and one of the big things we're talking about is the balance of that, stuff like that, and they've got a lot of feedback from people on how that actually works, so hopefully it should be pretty cool when it actually launches on Tuesday. So, video number 3 is a fight with the Wendigo Colossus, and little spoiler potentially as to how that works, but not a massive one, in that basically you jump in, you find the creature, it's big, it's bad, it's scary, it has some really, really cool attacks, and it's a very high level creature. At least it was in the version we saw in this video, but both characters were over the level 80 mark, so they were fully rounded out. Not necessarily that well built, but still. But they are going to be quite a challenge, particularly if you want to solo them, unless you've got a crazy OP build anyway. But if you've got a relatively more normal build, then you're definitely going to have quite a challenge on your hands, because not only does the Colossus put out a lot of punishment, it looks like it's got a fear type attack that will render you unable to do anything apart from run away screaming. So that's quite an interesting little change. There's no creature that actually does anything like that up until now. So that should give it a whole new angle with combat. It's also capable of summoning friends to come and help out, and those are very, very high level as well. So I'm not going to share any more details than that because that will spoil it too much, but definitely a formidable foe if you end up getting into a fight with that guy, which I'm sure many of us will be looking forward to doing, because it's creepy as all hell, but really, really cool. It also has 3 heads, so, you know, the hard part's deciding which one to shoot first, I think, to be honest. But very, very cool nonetheless. So, as I say, link down below if you want to go and check out the blog post, see it in more detail. Videos available on Bethesda's YouTube page as well if you want to go there. But I'm going to give you the opportunity here not to have it spoiled for you, so there we go. So, for those of us who have been around since the game launched, or in short, anybody who played it between now and launch, or between launch and the launch of Wastelanders anyway. Brand new little thank you. It's nothing massive, but it's nice, which is a veteran outfit. As in, if you've logged in between the initial launch at the end of 2018 and the launch of Wastelanders, over the course of this month, you will find a new outfit appearing that is buildable. You won't have to do anything, you won't have to faff around to get it. It will just appear in your buildable options when you head to an armor bench, and you'll be able to craft this new outfit, which would appear to be this one here. So they've said here that it might take a little while before it appears, and so on and so forth. I think they're covering their bases more than anything there, because inevitably these things tend to go that way. You know, they say something could be out and it ends up being sort of a bit more of a staggered thing. So if it's not out immediately, it should be there by the end of April. If it hasn't turned up by the end of April and you've logged in the appropriate time frame, that'll be the time to submit a ticket on Bethesda.net, but otherwise it should be appearing. But the details. Wastelanders is almost here, and we know everyone is excited to meet Appalachia's new residents. Yes. But before they arrive, we wanted to take the time to say thank you to all our friends who've left Vault 76 with us over the past year and a half. As a small token of our appreciation, we are gifting you all Vault 76 Veterans Unique Outfit. The Veteran Outfit will be available to anyone who has logged into Fallout 76 since the launch on November 14th, 2018 and prior to the Wastelanders release. So if you played the beta and haven't played since, but you're thinking of coming back, get in there a couple of days early. I'd be surprised if that's anybody watching this video, but if that applies to you and you want this really quite cool looking outfit, that's the time to do it. So, as I say, you won't need to do anything to claim your outfit. It'll automatically be added as a craftable item to your account and available to any of your characters at armor workbenches. Look for this outfit to become craftable in the coming days. It may take a few days for yours to show up, but you should see it in your account by the end of April. Okay. So, sharing Appalachia with new arrivals. There's another big potential spoiler here, so I'm going to try and avoid ruining it for you, but hang on, let's do this carefully. Okay, so, potential spoiler here. As many of you already know, there is a good chance that your existing camps, particularly in one or two popular locations, most are not too bad, but may end up occupying a space that will now become part of the Wastelanders content. As such, as in the past as well, when you log in, you'll get a little notification saying your camp can't be placed, and they'll provide you with a free of charge movement for your camp. The other option, of course, is to jump in early and move ahead of time. Obviously, that being Tuesday or Monday night to be on the safe side, because we don't actually know yet when they're going to take the servers down to distribute the update. Just below this little point on the screen that you can't quite see now is a map, a full the paper map of Appalachia, with new locations marked on it and changing locations marked on it as well. So if you're interested in checking this out, I will, again, as I say, put the link down in the description. You may want to go over and see whether or not your camp is close to an existing location or a couple of locations that are going to be changed. There's one down in the Cranberry Bog, there's a couple at the bottom of the Savage Divide, and there's a couple over in Forest, not too far from Vault 76, the Point Pleasant region. So if any of those sound like your sort of thing, you might want to head over and check it out. I'd say do it as quickly as possible and try not to remember too much, other than where your camp is, obviously, and then you don't spoil the new locations for yourself. But if that doesn't bother you, as I say, down below you can go and check that out. Probably worth doing. So, as Bethesda's little note says, Wastelanders will bring new faces, new quests, new enemies, items, and much, much more to Fallout 76. Along with some of this comes locations in Appalachia where you could previously build your camp that will now occupy the same space as new content. If your residence is in one of these areas when you log into Wastelanders, you will be notified that you can no longer be placed. You will be offered a free camp move, which we hope will help you find a new home for your home. We've marked the new camp zones on a map below. Some zones may be a bit larger or smaller than their highlights on the map, so if your camp is currently near one of them, you may want to consider moving prior to patch day. Or you can wait and get a free move if you want to do it that way, but you're kind of taking a bit more of a risk that way. So, avoiding the map, try your luck with the Purveyor is the last point in this little blog post. So, Purveyor Murmiga is looking to offer some of her gear so that it's easy to pack for a big move to the Rusty Pick when Wastelanders arrives. To do this, she's hosting a mystery pick event which kicked off yesterday and will last through the weekend. Head to a shop in Berkeley Springs Station between the dates below to exchange 60 script for a completely random 3-star legendary item. So that started yesterday midday Eastern Time, so 4 in the afternoon, and we'll end at midday Eastern Time on Monday, which is again 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK. So yeah, usual deal, you head over there, it costs a bit less, but you get less choice about what type of item you get. Normally you select ranged weapon, melee weapon, piece of armour. This time you'll get no choice, it'll just be random 3-star and a little bit cheaper. So, not an event I'm a big fan of, but if you want to partake, go ahead and do so. And of course, little reminder, as of Wastelanders launch on Tuesday, the Purveyor will no longer be located at Berkeley Springs train station. She will be at the Rusty Pick in the Ash Heap, which is just a little bit south of Charleston Fire Department. So, nice and easy to find, a little bit of a lower level area, and it gives you the opportunity to get there a bit earlier in the game, which is quite cool. So, interesting little change. Obviously, if you're anywhere near the Rusty Pick, there's another good example of a location that you might have to move your camp from, because that area is obviously going to be changing. Looking forward to seeing what they do with it. I hope they go big, personally. So, thanks for joining us this week. We hope you're ready to take on Wastelanders, and we look forward to questing and adventuring right alongside you on Tuesday. All in all, very, very cool. Some cool new details, the new endgame loop stuff. The gold bullion system is interesting. Hopefully they'll be adding more bits and pieces to that and expanding on it as time goes on after launch. I'd imagine people will consume that quite quickly if they don't, so fingers crossed on that front. Hopefully Bethesda realise that, but we'll have to see what happens. Beyond that, yeah, my plan for Tuesday is keep an eye on the servers, and as soon as they go up, I will go live as soon as I possibly can, jump straight in, and probably do a crazy long stream. So I don't know what time that will start. Keep an eye on whatever time the servers come back up. I'll be on as soon as I possibly can. Hopefully Bethesda will give us a few details on the day. There will be patch notes as well, so I imagine it's going to be a long day for me, because I will probably be covering some of the patch notes as well. Hopefully I'll be able to do both and get in there nice and early, but we'll see what happens. Beyond that, as usual, notification bell is your friend on that front. It'll let you know whenever I go live, so that is the best way of doing that. The other way, of course, being that I will tweet it out and it will appear on my Facebook page as well if you want to head over and join those, and I'll put a little story up on Instagram as well, so make sure you're following me on there. And of course, beyond that, live streams, hopefully in the meantime we'll be playing some Mass Effect. I was going to do that tonight, but hey, Bethesda curveball. So slight change of plans, but there we go. And yeah, all in all, very, very excited. Can't wait for the launch on Tuesday. Really looking forward to getting stuck into the new content. I imagine there will be a lot of us diving in very, very quickly. So fingers crossed the servers don't crash, but it'll probably be a very heavy day. So all in all, should be good fun though. So, thank you very much for watching as always. As I said before, you know where all the links and stuff are, so please do hit those if you'd like to, and subs and likes are always very, very much appreciated. And if you really want to support the content and the channel, then you can become a channel member as well via the blue join button down below. Support is humongously appreciated. Thank you very, very much to everybody who's done that so far. It's very, very much appreciated. For now, I'll say thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.